Hello and welcome to Niaga Awani. I'm Amzar Alif, and today we are diving into one of Malaysia's biggest startup milestone of the year, Cradle Life Startup ASEAN Summit 2025. Over 3 days, the summit brings together more than 3,000 participants, uniting founders, investors, and policymakers from across ASEAN under one bold theme, scaling startup beyond borders. And joining me today are two key figures shaping Malaysia's innovation landscape. Norman Matthew Van Hekke, Group Chief Executive Officer of Cradle Fund Sdn Bhd, Malaysia National Focal Agency for Early Stage Startup under the Ministry of Science and Technology, MOSTI. And we have here Kelly Kam, Group Chief Executive Officer of Alliance Bank, as the title sponsor for this year's summit. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
Alright, Norman. Cradle Life Startup ASEAN Summit 2025 marks another milestone for the Malaysia startup ecosystem. How does it feel to see this platform grow and to have Alliance on board?
First of all, I had to give a really big appreciation to Kelly for supporting us for this event, because this is a really important event for the country and the region as a whole. As we know, Cradle as a focal point agency for Malaysia's startup ecosystem, our vision is to uplift the nation's startup ecosystem to the global ranking. And we see that this drive is actually shared among the region's startup ecosystem as well. So it becomes our next logical step to actually work together with other ASEAN member states and lead this ASEAN startup initiative and bring the whole region up into the global stage.
So Kelly, what drew Alliance Bank to support this summit as a main partner?
Yeah, at Alliance Bank, our passion is it's all about the SMEs, about supporting business owners, founders, and therein we found a perfect partner in Cradle. This is not a one-off collaboration. I mean, and we worked together a couple of years on the Bismart Challenge last year, the Accelerator Edition, and I think when you find partners with the same wavelength, with the same passion in wanting to build, provide support for the innovators, for Malaysia to be seen as a startup hub, we got to jump right in, and it is our privilege to be here.
Thank you so much.
Now, Cradle has been instrumental in nurturing early stage startup. So while Alliance Bank has also long championed SME growth, how do both organizations see this partnership building a stronger bridge between startup funding and also business scalability?
Well, the whole idea of a startup is not to just remain at early stage, because eventually they do have to grow and scale to become future SMEs. So it becomes a very logical step for us to actually come together in this flow of growth for our, new companies, new tech companies especially, and we do see a lot of talent, a lot of potential. So coming from where we stand, there's a lot of opportunity to actually, and a lot of synergies actually between Cradle and Alliance Bank actually, to really funnel all our startups coming from Cradle and onwards towards Alliance to bring them further up.
For Kelly, how about you?
I think Norman put it perfectly. So when we started working together, when you take a look at it from the founders' viewpoint and not from organizational standpoint, you see that the needs for the founders, for the entrepreneurs, straddles both in the areas we play in. Cradle, incredible at finding innovation, helping them start that process. At Alliance Bank, we complete that journey with them, helping them scale up. And together we both are able to provide the founders not just the funding at the right time, but the platform to be able to create awareness of their product as well, to follow them through from startup all the way to scale up.
So we talk about funding. Funding has always been a major problem for founders. So how Cradles continue to close this gap, perhaps through its grant or any capacity building programs?
Well, as you know, Cradle is the number one mandate is the focal point agency for the startup ecosystem. So what does that mean actually? So startup ecosystem is an end-to-end view of how we look at things from inception all the way to even to IPO listing. So as the focal agency that manages and coordinates all the actions to develop the entire ecosystem, we need to look at every step of this growth of every single startup company. So yes, Cradle is very well known about its early stage grants, but the funding path goes all the way even after our early stage grants. So we bear the responsibility to actually to be able to find the gaps and really plug that in with the right players, be it from public or private side. So hence why collaborations like this is actually very, very important to build a more robust ecosystem to be able to push our Malaysian companies through and through the entire ecosystem.
So Kelly, from the banking perspective, how is Lion Bank making the financing more accessible and for startup that is want to scale up or hunger to scale?
And continuing what Norman was saying about that journey, when we had this discussion, this question here is there not enough liquidity in the market? And the answer is no. So between the players in the market, folks like Cradle and Alliance Bank, funding is there. What we found is that platform and sometimes the gap in awareness on how to be able to present it. So for us, being able to have this partnership work, create the platforms, run programs to also educate the startups on what funders at different levels want to see and how to pitch their ideas, we believe will go a long way in being able to close that gap.
So I think this collaboration clearly share the same vision for Malaysia's innovation. How does it align with both Cradles and also Alliance Bank efforts to position Malaysia as a top 20 global startup ecosystem by 2030?
Well, if you know from our startup ecosystem roadmap, the roadmap is a 10-year roadmap beginning from 2021 to 2030. So the vision to become top 20 is in 2030. So that's pretty much about 5 years left. So it's a tall order. But I wouldn't say it's impossible. Why? Because just last year, we actually managed to break through into the top 20 of the emerging ecosystem. So we have been below that level for quite some years. And last year, we saw a really big, significant shift. So it shows, it gives us that motivation that we can do it. All it is that we just need to amp it up a little bit more, accelerate it a bit more, find the right partners, work with them. I mean, we're going to do some very interesting work after this, actually. We're going to do more than what we've done before. And, I wish I could say more, but I guess we have to leave it for later. Yeah. So there's a lot more to be done, and it's going to be very, very exciting.
So for Alliance Bank, what's your plan to achieve that?
And I think many of our government speeches, Prime Minister mostly, it is a whole of country effort. So we cannot just let any one area try to drive that vision for the country. You see that we are much stronger when we collaborate, providing the platform to be able to drive this. Initial numbers are already looking good. We are working on some pretty interesting things, and hopefully we'll be able to speak about it soon as well. Yeah.
All right, Norman, digitalization has been at the core for both organizations. So how is Cradle leveraging platform like My Startup, Startup ASEAN to connect founders, investors, and also partners?
Well, interesting to say that because our approach to ecosystem development is very much leveraged on our digital platform. So in 2024, we actually launched the single window platform for the Malaysian ecosystem. So the problem statement of the difficulty to navigate the different players, sources of funding, sources of support in the Malaysian startup ecosystem can now be solved with a digital platform called My Startup. So taking this into example, we've actually expanded it and actually developed the Startup ASEAN digital platform. So now it's not just the Malaysian ecosystems are connected, but now it's all the ASEAN member states are connected via this digital platform. So very much so we are using digital as a tool and to really accelerate how we do things, how we collaborate between one another.
And Kelly, Alliance Bank also has been vocal about its digital first approach. So how does this translate to tangible value for startup and SMEs in Malaysia?
I think for us, we've put a significant amount of effort in developing what we call our digital SME proposition. And the whole idea is to make access to funding seamless, very, very easy, self-serve. And also not just to provide that access to funding which can have in principle approval within a day, but also provide them digital tools. So if you're a startup founder, you log on to our digital SME capabilities, you can even download a digital SME health check. So if you upload your 6 months bank statements, we'll be able to even tell you how healthy your cash flow is, what areas you should be looking at, and what you can possibly need to focus on over the next few months. So we continually refine our digital tools, not just from a banking perspective, but from a standpoint of how can it add value from the founder's perspective. So this way we hope to close the gap from information to financing.
Alright, finally, what can we expect next from Cradle and Alliance Bank in empowering startup not just locally but from across ASEAN?
We do have something to announce later on today. So yeah, a bit of a sneak peek is that we will be working on something that is very, very impactful. That's for sure. And innovative, yes. But from an ASEAN perspective, from a startup ecosystem perspective, yes, we are doing more. It's one thing to connect all the ecosystems within the region via our platform, but there's more to do as well, because there's a treasure trove throughout this whole region. 700 million, the number of startups are numbering more than 10,000. So there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of mutual opportunities, mutual benefits that we can actually leverage on from one another.
Maybe last word from Kali?
It's important for us that we found a partner with the same passion. And you're just looking around the crowd, you see the passion and the vibe you find from founders, business owners, folks with dreams. The two of us, we hope to continue to work together. Last year we did Bismart Accelerator Edition, went on to a full feature-length movie, uploaded into YouTube. And again, it's not about us. It's about the founders, to profile them, to create that awareness, so more people know what they're doing. So stay tuned for next year's edition, and hopefully with both of us coming together, we'll create more future startups.
Yeah, we're looking forward. Thank you for both Norman and Kelly for your insight and joining us today. That is all from me. I'm Zaralif in Niaga Awani.